All right,
Great.
this is another thing I want to reference. We won't stay in these long, and you can go into different ones and see how they're different. But they're not actually living in here. They're sleeping in here at night. Or if it's weather's decent, they might even be outdoors at night. But what you can see is this is not necessarily a family lodging. This may be a number of people lodging in here. If you look up high, you can see that they might store their food by putting it up high so animals, rodents couldn't get in it. They also have this, likely for warmth. And you saw what they're doing with cooking, though. They're cooking outdoors. So really, they're not in here a great deal. They're outdoors in the elements. But you do smell the smoke very strongly in here. You can also see that what they've used is like reeds, although these are not necessarily like reeds today. These are more like woven reed mats. Back then they would use reeds from, along the creek and the swamp areas. Remember when we looked at eastern woodlands? Their lodging was much like this. It could be tree bark. And here you have where the accessibility of reeds that they would have made their housing. They have cooking demonstrations. They have tool making demonstrations out here, probably using sharp objects to strike on anything like antler or maybe even shell. So you can look at those things. So get into some of the other lodges and try to stay as a group, but wherever you want to take next.
I might make little arrow points out of it. What might I do with this wing bones? I'm gonna make one of these nice. Yes, I'm gonna make a bunch more turkey calls to call in more turkeys. What might I do with those turkeys' eyeballs? Nothing, you don't need those. You're probably gonna throw those away. So the Powhatan are hunting lots of big animals, deer, bear, wolves, and mountain lion and elk with your bow and your arrows. You're eating it. You're using the hides, the bones, all sorts of things. But maybe not every tiny little piece of it. Some of it, maybe that's not good for us. You don't have any questions about it. Can I shoot another arrow? All right. There's no sights, no shelf on this. You get one at 5. You practice every day. The English say as an adult, you can hit your target every time at 40 yards. Your best shots at 100 or 120. Use these nice moccasins. You get up close to your prey or that person you really want to take your shot. Yes. That is a big shot. Thanks for saying that. Any other questions? No, not coming up. That's a terrible question. Yep. Georgia. Okay, a little further. We had school groups 2 days ago from like San Diego. So they come from a long ways. Just talking a little bit about hunting, which is what the Powhatan men would be doing this time of year. You become, actually, how old are y'all?
16,
17. At 14 or 15, you become an adult among the Powhatan. You use this to hunt, fish, and go to war. And those are the 3 things that the men do. That is your entire function in life. You're using this, one of these, and then some version of this thing. What is this?
Club.
Yeah, this is a club. It's a tomahawk. It's a Powhatan word actually for any of their axes or war clubs. You might get one that looks like this. You might get one that looks like this. You might even make a long version, which is a different name to it. It's a sword with little blade edges down the front made out of stone. Yep. But this time of year is primarily hunting. So deer, bear, and wolves, mountain lions, elk, things like that. That would be your whole function. Have any questions on anything? The bow, any of the tools?
What are you using for
The string, yeah. The bow string is going to be made out of deer gut or deer sinew. Bear works too, but there's a lot more deer around than there are bear. Bow is going to be made sort of the way I am. Cut it on down out of a hickory, mulberry, or black locust tree. Force it after it dries under a nice string to make it nice and tight like that. That's what allows you to shoot that 40-yard shot or that 100-yard shot. Something else you might be using would be what?
Calls.
Yeah, turkey calls. They're making all sorts of different types of calls and traps, baiting animals, dressing as deer, the English say. Sometimes they practice to stand motionless for hours at a time without flinching. One, that helps you sit along a game trail until a bear comes by. Two, the English say that they would sit outside the fort in times of war. 3 or 4 of them along the trail that they know the English like to use, and you would do this. You'd wait some more, and then you'd hear a little bird call from your friend who probably knows that bird call because he's been doing it for a long time. You step out from behind a tree. You get a whole lot more payment from the chief, respect from everybody if you kill someone with this than you do with a bow and arrow. In fact, we know the chiefs sometimes around the local tribes who were harassed by the English, they would say, I don't want you to kill a couple of Englishmen, I want one. He would say, I want an Englishman. John Smith came down here and he raided, stole a bunch of corn from a family member of mine. I want an Englishman. So you step out from behind that tree, you kneecap him, you take him and all of his stuff in prisoner ties to the chief, and what happens to him is really, really unfortunate. But, all right. Really don't have any questions.
Are you making your own?
Yes, they're making their own everything, and that includes your arrow points, the largest of which are going to be like this. Stone, so flint, chert, jasper, rhyolite from the mountains. You trade for it, you break it into the shape, and then you use it for big game animals and people you don't like. Yeah, but they're made out of wood or cane, and some of them are actually hollow, and you have little interchangeable heads that go in. That way your arrow doesn't break, and you may get it back. So, if I get a good shot on one of my enemies with one of those arrows where the point is stuck on there permanently, the first thing he's going to do when this berry's in his chest is he's going to swing down and try to break it, or he's going to turn and run. If a yellow jacket happened to sting me, I might do the same thing. I would probably break your arrow, but in this case, the arrow falls out, the point stays in here and does what it's supposed to do. I pick that up, jam a new point in there, and I keep using it.
Is that made with reed?
Yep, this nice river cane grows from Maryland to Texas. Tribes in that area are using it for this purpose. But it also makes, just like those, good normal arrows with one point to them.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.